Hey, what's going on, friends? Carlos here, Carlos Gill TV. So I want to go ahead and make this video all about relationships and the true meaning of a relationship and why they're important, not only in business but in life. And I know I've done over the last couple of months several videos in which I've harped on the same thing. Social media, it's like a giant piggy bank. You deposit a lot of pennies, nickels, and dimes in it, which is growing your following. It's engaging. But you do this with no expectation of anything in return. So one day, at that moment when you need the help the most, someone will go ahead and do something for you and pay it forward. And so many people out there are deceived and they're driven by vanity metrics. What do I mean by that? They're driven and deceived by number of followers, number of connections. They think that the more followers you have, the more successful that makes you. And that's not how social media works. It's not how life works. It's not a numbers game around how many people do you know? How many people know you? It doesn't work like that. It's how many people are you influencing? How many people on a daily basis are you having conversations with? How many people are you helping to improve their situation, their life, helping them in their business? That's what relationships are all about. That's the beauty of what social media is all about and the platform that social media gives me and gives to all of you out there. Again, don't be deceived and fooled by numbers like followers, because that means nothing other than it's just a number. Within those followers, within your community, within your circles that you're in, how many people are you having conversations with? How many people are you really truly adding value to those relationships? And a lot of you out there have seen, if you follow me at least, you've seen or you heard of the social beards. And a lot of people have asked, what are the social beards? How do I join the social beards? And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some insight as to who and what the social beards are, because I think it's really fitting, especially since now I've recently landed on my feet, and I want to just share with all of you guys out there who they are and how it originated. So back in January, when I lost my job over at Save a Lot, my instinct, my reaction to losing my job was to reach out to my social media connections. So back in 2008, when I lost my job in the banking industry, I wasn't on LinkedIn back then. I wasn't on Facebook. I didn't have 30,000 followers on Twitter. I didn't have these mediums to be able to reach out to and ask for help. Fast forward to 2015, I've, over the last 7 years, focused on building a personal brand. But most importantly, within that personal brand, I've built a network. And I have never had to ask that network for anything other than just, how can I help you? So back in January, when I lost my job, I started getting involved in things like Twitter chats. I started reaching out to my network. I started asking for help. I started asking, how can I get involved? I started letting people know that I needed their help. Why? Because I wasn't going to be able to find a job on my own. And I started publishing content. I started publishing content on LinkedIn. I started publishing content on Social Media Today. I started getting my face out there so as many people as possible would know who Carlos Gill is, or if they already had seen me or maybe followed me, I'd actually be able to put some context and relevancy behind just a social media handle and just and more than just be a face out there that people just see as this smiling face on Twitter. I started using more of social media video like YouTube, like Snapchat, so people would really go ahead and get to see the personality behind me. I started using more than ever, tapping into LinkedIn to go ahead and ensure that when people would land on my LinkedIn profile, I had an accurate representation as to my experience. They could see actionable results from jobs where I've had. They would be able to read a summary that would describe me to a T as to what I would bring to a potential organization. But one of the most important things I did was I started gravitating to certain people and people that were helping me on my own journey and personal mission to get to my next job. And there was people that stood out, like a Greg Weiss, like Matt Black, like Ryan Pena, like Eric Clark, like Chris McEwen, like Vincenzo Landino. These guys became essentially my promoters. They became Carlos Gil fans, if you will. That every time I publish a piece of content, every time I drop a knowledge bomb online, they would go ahead and they would help me promote my personal brand. So one day I became inspired to start up just this Twitter DM chat with all these guys, and I brought them in. It wasn't just the ones I mentioned, it was other guys too. Other people that for one reason or another I felt compelled, let me bring a group of guys together and let's go ahead and let's change the face of social media, because a lot of social media today, it's very much one-way communication dialogue. What do I mean by that? You have a lot of so-called influencers, you have a lot of people that are just shooting out content and they're not building community. And I've been on social media since the age of 13 years old when it was called America Online. I totally get what community is all about. I wouldn't be having this conversation past midnight right now. I wouldn't be professing this on a daily basis if I didn't believe the power in community, because I wouldn't be in the job where I'm at today, and I wouldn't have the resume that I have today if it wasn't for building community, whether it was in 2008 during the recession with Jobs Direct USA, or if it wasn't over the last several months leading up to me being hired by LinkedIn. None of it would be possible if it wasn't for community, and that's real talk. So this group of guys, we all came together, and it was all essentially, how can we be this face, this brand, if you will. It's all about community. It's all about empowering one another. It's all about sharing one another. So when Matt Black drops a LinkedIn post, he has 12 guys or however many number of guys. He has a support system. He has a community that is sharing his content. Or, for example, when I made the announcement that I was going to go work for LinkedIn, I told these guys first because they were a very close group of friends that helped me get there. So we decided to call us Social Beards. Kind of a play is because we all work in social media for the most part, but we all, for the most part, have beards. Some of us don't have beards. Nick Haas and Greg Weiss don't have beards, but they're still part of the crew because it's all about community. It's all about helping one another. And I think that's what social media needs to get back to. Social media needs to be more about how can I help others, not how can I help myself. Because it's not about it's not about me, it's about we. Such a powerful network. You have millions upon millions of people that are using LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and I can go on and on. And it's such a powerful resource, but no one wants to be sold to. No one wants to be pitched to. No one wants this to be all about just one person. It's about a lot of people. And that's really why I love this community that we've called Social Beards. That's why I love where I'm at today in my career, where I'm with an organization that's all about connecting talent and opportunity. And it's all about putting people first. And why I make these videos is so just someone out there watching it can go ahead and look at their social media game and think, you know what? I really want to get the most of this. I want to get the most out of building this brand of mine, this personal brand. I want to get the most of using this opportunity. I want to get the most out of the people I meet. And how you do that, again, is by identifying, connecting, and engaging. And think of that strategy. Identify who do you really want to engage with, or who do you want to connect with? Who do you want to do business with? Identify who they are. Connect with them. There are a lot of resources out there. Once you identify who are the people that you want to engage with or you want to connect with, hit them up on LinkedIn, follow them on Twitter. I would say kind of stick to those two mediums because Facebook is much more personable. But still, connect. And then once you connect, actually engage, have dialogue. Don't allow for a follow or a connection just to be another number. Actually make it mean something. Okay? When you follow someone, follow up. That's the key. Follow up with a follow. Engage, connect, have conversations. Go back to the basis of how business has been done historically for decades, for centuries. Business has always been done on a handshake. Why? Because it's human. And that's what social media allows us to do. Put the human back in social media. Reinvest in relationships. Make it a priority to actually engage with people. What you're going to see is going to happen over time is your overall sentiment, people reaching out, what that translates is into business and dollars incremental to what you're doing today. It's all going to go up. But you can't be doing this with necessarily the end game in mind, because the end game It's a journey. It's not overnight. Believe you me, it's taken me 7 years of hustling, of staying awake late at night. Heck, I'm making this video right now on a work night. And it's almost 1 a.m. here in San Francisco. But I'm doing this because you know why? I care. And I believe in authenticity. And I want to be able to utilize these tools to inspire and motivate. And that's why I do it. And that's real talk. So let me know what you think. Drop me a comment wherever you see this video. Either drop me a comment here on YouTube or wherever you find it. Drop a comment in the box below. I would love to hear from you. And however I can help you out, let me know as well. So for now, friends, I'm going to sign off. Remember, social media, it's not about how many people follow you. It's not about how many people you follow. It's about how many people you can influence. And that's real. So for now, guys, fist bumps, peace. I'll go ahead and see you next time here on Carlos Gil TV.